Slapdash podcast. My name is Jeremy Byers, and I'm joined with Caden.
Hey.
And today we have a very good episode for you guys, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. So I hope you enjoy.
Why are you
listening.
talking like that?
I don't know.
Do you want to do an exercise before we start? All right,
All right, yeah,
Jeremy.
Yeah.
What is something that you really love with a passion?
Making videos.
What is something you really hate with a passion?
That's a lot of things.
What's the one that stands out to you?
Someone.
I said, what's the one that stands out to you?
With a passion. Being interrupted while I'm talking. Do you want like somebody or like?
No. All right, never mind. That's not how I wanted it to go.
Okay, do you want me to say something else?
No, that's fine. Being interrupted. Oh my god. Okay, so like, it's from this like I got that from like, I think it was some Nickelodeon show where like, they're just like, what do you like? He's like, music. What do you hate? Brussels sprouts. And like, what if they made a song about Brussels sprouts? And he got really conflicted. So I was gonna try to make.
Oh my god.
I was trying to make something with that, and I was about to say, so what if you were making videos but you got interrupted? But that happens all the time.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
So I was really kind of like in a not good spot for what I was going to come up with there.
Alright. Good start.
Yeah. Kind of a fail, but it's fine.
So
we were going to talk about Halloween, the new one, 2018.
yeah, spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, definitely spoiler.
So I mean, if you didn't watch it, then you're gay. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll start in the beginning. I don't remember what happens at the beginning. Oh yeah, no, they're at the mental institution,
Oh yeah.
and the people who are doing a podcast go in there with like the microphone. It's like, Michael, and then everyone starts going like, just acting like crazy because like he pulls out this like mask, which is the Michael Myers mask, and everyone goes berserk, and that part there, I thought was really stupid.
You did?
Like, yeah, I thought it was like a pointless part of the movie because like these retards are just like over here trying to make these two retards.
These satanic chants are being made towards
Yeah, and then
Michael and his mask.
and then they're making a podcast, and then they die anyway. So what the heck?
Yeah. Do you think that was kind of like the most like, when the reporters got killed? Do you think? I feel like that was like the most intense kind of scene, honestly.
Yeah,
Like
because whenever he dropped the teeth. Over
Oh
top
yeah,
of it.
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that like I think I was most intense was when like they were actually in the house, and like he was. There was a part where like. Oh, it was like when. I think it was the cop, and like the guy killed him. And like put on the mask or whatever. Like, there was some part. There was a part where it was like really making my heart like pound. Like I wasn't scared, but it was like, like I just wanted whatever was gonna happen to happen already, and I don't remember what. I don't remember which scene it was, but it was like making my heart like a boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't scared throughout the whole entire movie, but it was a very intense, like a lot of action.
Yeah. I did like I mean, even like the last part where it's just like her going through the dark house. I noticed afterwards it was kind of long, and like it was because it was super slow because she's trying not to make a mistake like she did, when Lori was a like a babysitter in high school. She was like taking everything carefully, but she still ended up even getting like thrown over the balcony. And then I honestly loved how Michael like looks down at her. She's like laying on the ground, seemingly unconscious, and then he like, I think he hears the daughter and the mother downstairs, and then he looks back and she's not there. I thought that was so awesome. Honestly, it's probably my favorite. I don't know what you said. I don't know if it's my favorite part, but like something that really stood out to me because it was like a mirrored scene from the first one.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of the whole thing was whenever like he actually like tears off like the counter that was like revealing the downstairs.
Yeah.
And then like because she's like and like he goes away or something like that, I think, and then Laurie's daughter's like crying and like I can't do this, and then he like comes over thinking oh well she's helpless, and then like she just aims the gun, says gotcha, and blows
that was cool.
Yeah, like that was really good, but then like didn't matter anyway because he got back up because he got shot. Like, it really, that part there like mirrored like the first film because he was shot as well in the first film, and I love how like he only killed like 5 people in the first film, and now in this one he kills like literally everybody. Like everyone dies in this film. It's crazy.
I like. Okay, so my overall, I did really love the experience of going to the theater. Like I don't know, like I'm kind of like an introverted person. I hate crowds of people most of the time, but for some reason when I go into a theater and there's a crowd, I love it, Mm-hmm. Do you feel that? Like I just love...
Because everybody's there to
everyone's sleep. Like... If there's like a connection between like in the audience to all of us
they all
to
have
the movie.
Same taste of
and it's really I just love being in a crowded theater, especially for a movie like Halloween, like a new reboot. When the new Star Wars came out, it was a fun time. I had a really fun time with the movie. I mean, there was obviously some things they I would say take risks. They took risks mainly, or like they kind of modernized the movie, because I feel like they didn't want it to be. I feel like the directors were kind of like, oh, we don't want this movie to be that boring and a thing. I guarantee they were thinking with the mindset of like, oh, with a bunch of new audiences, and like the movies that are coming out today, that we have to make this movie more like less like the first one, because the first ones has literally no. I mean, not that I remember at least. Literally, like no comedy in it. Has no comedy. It's kind of just like simply shot. Honestly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, very simple. Just a very simple movie overall. And
like man kills people.
Yeah, it created the new. Our English teacher like wrote a gigantic article on it. Like it created the genre of slasher. And I guess that one's like the most notable. It was it was such a simple movie. And then this one, they kind of like, they had to kind of, I feel like they had the mindset of like, oh, we have to make this better for today's standards. Like now with all these like, these superhero movies and stuff coming out, people want to see like action,
Yeah. And there was plenty of action in this one.
Oh yeah, there was definitely more like intense scenes.
Because the first one, it didn't have it took forever for him to finally kill somebody.
Oh yeah, the first the scenes in the, I'm not saying the scenes in the old one were like boring or anything. Like they were pretty like the suspense was a good build up of suspense. And like because Michael's such a like slow, he's trudging person. Like even when like Laurie fell down the steps in the first one, and like he just like he takes his good old time. And like he's just it just builds up all this intensity, and then like with this, I mean, I'm not saying, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like this new one, detained. This movie is nothing but Detained. No, yeah. I mean, like I don't think they made it too bad of like making it more. They didn't want it to be boring, I don't think, because
like they had to put action into it.
They had to put some kind of thing that would like captivate, especially younger audiences nowadays.
Because everybody's always into that weird
stuff. Yeah, I feel like with a lot of older movies, you see stuff like that. Like
Jaws was considered really scary back in the day.
Oh yeah.
And like you look at it now, it's like a big fat rubber fish that just comes out of the water. It looks really stupid.
I mean, I'm just saying with like scenes in general. Like I feel like with old movies, they used to just be like. I mean, I don't want to say slow, but like I thought they were. I always thought like scenes like that were good, where it's just like.
I think older movies. I think what you're trying to say is like older movies were always like more towards like a backstory, like a good plot, like a long time to get to like the action. Now like today, like to fill the eyes of like the audience. It has to be like a, yeah, there's backstory and stuff, but I mean, it gets into action like really quick, really quick.
Good explanation over my stuttering ass. Yeah, but like, and then I feel like they what I meant by like they modernized it more was like, you have these kids with like pulling out their iPhones and stuff, and then you have like comedic relief because like, the old one had none, and it's like how many, I'm kind of like, I don't know, so with the comedic relief, like I like it, but like do I not like it because the first one didn't have any? I don't know. Like I'm conflicted on it.
I like comedic relief in horror movies. I mean, this isn't really a horror movie, but like, I guess you could consider it as
thriller.
Yeah, more of a thriller. Yeah, but like any movie related to like anything, like you're gonna be scared, like that sort of stuff. Like I do like comedic relief, but there's some movies that like do it way over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Where like, for example, like whenever it came out and I watched that,
yeah.
like they had a lot of like comedic relief in that, like because the kids act like literally say like your mom jokes and like stupid stuff like that. It's like I just thought it was too much. Like just okay.
I don't know what like most public opinion thinks about that either. Like, is it good to have like comedy, like funny things, or is it like strictly all supposed to be like
we have polls
scary?
Polls on YouTube. Yeah, poll came out just right there. You click on, do you think comedic relief is better or worse? Click one.
Yeah. This is at the 12-minute mark.
Yep.
Okay.
Epic.
Like, of course, there's like the dad at the beginning who's like, "Oh, I got peanut butter in my penis."
Oh yeah.
And then,
that was.
I mean, like I did laugh. I laughed at that. I laughed at the stupid black kid who just like.
Oh yeah, he kept like swearing.
Yeah,
like,
he's just like, oh, swearing. It's like
because he was like little kids swearing. That's just funny.
Yeah, I mean, I think of course, I think it just mainly fits with our humor because we were literally talking about this earlier. For some reason, like when black people talk, or like even kids, like they're just naturally funny. Yeah, with the way they like word things.
Yeah,
and say things, and of course, I don't know if I consider, like, because, I'm conflicted, I don't know if I'd consider myself guilty for laughing at thinking the black kid's funny, I didn't...
just the way... It's not racist, it's just, like, the way...
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's just
definitely
the way,
not racist.
Yeah, it's just the way that they word stuff, like, and, like, the slang they use, and... I mean, white people use slang, but it's, like, not as funny as, like, black slang.
Yeah.
I don't want to get, like, too offensive to anybody. If there are any African-American viewers... I don't want to get...
Put another poll up. Are you African-American? And then, like...
Everybody clicks yes.
I think the only part where I got a little annoyed with him was when he, like... they finally saw Michael in the house. And he goes, "Oh, shit!" And then, like, runs out of the... Like, books the... And... Yeah. I was kind of like...
It kind of ruined that, like, intense moment.
Yeah. Like, it's kind of like Michael's not being taken as seriously. Like, he's just, like, fucking... He's just murdering... psychopath, like
because like he's supposed to be like this really scary person, and that kid just goes like in reality, no one does that. Like not a kid like that will not do that.
Oh yeah,
like, scream like a little girl.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And like I was scared. There's a scene where it's the second person he kills. I think it's a woman inside the house, and she's like, it's really funny because she goes like. I think she's on the phone. She's like, "Yeah, we have to lock the doors." And he just walks into the house. He just walks into the house and kills her. Like takes her like by the ponytail and like bashes her head against the wall. I think. And then like he goes over like the baby crib, looks over it, and I thought he was gonna kill the baby because it was like crying and stuff. And like thank goodness he didn't because he like walked out.
Okay, no, you got a little mixed up there. So like there's like the woman with like, did she have like hair curlers in her hair?
Old woman, yeah.
Yeah, he literally got the hammer out of her tool shed. This is like very like beginning of the scene too. Like,
oh yeah,
it mirrors it. First off, it mirrors like the shot where he like runs into kids, but this time the kids are like, "Oh, sorry, mister," instead of like that loud music playing in the like first one where like the kid just stares up at him. First it does that, and then he just goes right into her backyard, gets a hammer. Yeah. She has like hair curlers in or something. She's like, I don't know if she's middle aged or like 40s, but like you just hear. Like, the gross sound effects of her head being smashed by the hammers, like, and then he gets her big ass kitchen knife. Yeah, is that when he got the knife?
Yeah, that's when he got the knife. It was, like,
and then the baby's crying. He goes over, stands over at the crib, stares at the baby for like a good 3 seconds, and that was one of the scenes where I just loved the crowded theater because you could hear everyone in the theater going, "Oh my gosh, you gonna kill a fucking baby?"
Yeah,
and then he walks away.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine when he kills a 40-year-old woman, but whenever he gets near a baby, it's no way.
I don't know. I guess it's just this sense of unity with the entire audience. It's everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
it was. I love that.
I think.
And then hold on, sorry, interrupting. And then he goes over to the next house
and kills that woman.
And then kills the woman by the ponytail who's talking on the phone.
Yeah.
Right at her
wasn't
it right at her front window?
Yeah, her front window. She's looking out. I was like, we need to lock the doors. And then he walks in and kills her. It's really funny. I didn't realize that until Chris pointed it out to me that she said that, and I was like, oh yeah, she did say that. She said we need to lock the doors to the person on the phone. And then because the trick-or-treaters or whatever, then he just walks in. You just see her turn around, go into the other room, and he just walks in and follows her and kills her. It's really funny. But then I think one thing that kind of made me mad, but then it wasn't actually gonna stay the whole movie, is when the doctor so there's a scene where the cop takes the daughter and puts her into the cop cruiser or whatever, and then there's Michael's doctor is in the passenger seat, and they go speeding full speed towards Michael and just slams him with the car, and he just falls down the ground. And both of them get out. Well, both the doctor and the cop get out. They go over, and the cop's looking at him, and then the doctor pushes him out of the way and says no, he's my patient, whatever, and gets down and whatever. Then he has what is it, a pen? It's a pen. And
it's some kind of pocket knife.
Yeah, it's a pen, but it clicks open as a pocket knife, a switchblade.
Yeah, switchblade. Yeah.
And he clicks it so that the cop can't see him, and then he turns around, stabs him in the neck, and kills him. And then that's when he puts on Michael Myers' mask, and you just see him in the headlights of the car, and then the girl's ah! She's in there screaming.
So I was sitting next to Jeremy when we were watching this, and he stands up, and the doctors. This was a different dude, by the way, not the dude from 40 years ago who also played the same part, most of the people, or at least Laurie.
It wasn't Dr. Loomis.
Yeah,
it was the other
guy. It was some different guy, but it was technically, wasn't it technically Loomis? It was Loomis, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't the same actor.
Yeah,
I think it was Loomis. Yeah, actually.
And then he puts the mask on, and it's all weird looking, and he's chubby.
Yeah, it looks so fat on him. It's it looks so stupid.
Why did they do that? I'm wondering. I'm looking back at it.
I think they did that for the reason why I was angry. They thought they wanted to purposely throw that in there just to do it, because
just to do it.
Well, why else would they put it in there? Because it lasted a scene. He did.
It lasted for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Did they want to strike fear into everyone, thinking that he was gonna go on a killing spree?
Yeah, take over. I think that's why they did that. They wanted the audience to be oh my gosh, why, and seem disappointed in the movie.
Oh, yeah, Jeremy comes out. Everyone's talking at this point because you're supposed to be silent in a theater, but everyone's just going crazy right here. And Jeremy just goes, whole movie ruined.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking to myself, I don't think he's gonna be the killer.
Yeah, and he had a broken arm too. So
Michael's been shot many times. Do you think running him over is really? He's dead.
They slammed him pretty hard.
Yeah,
they did slam him hard.
I'm almost thinking that Michael has kind of supernatural powers almost in a way.
I think
he has very almost invincibility,
immortality.
Yeah, and then he's kind of stealthy, he doesn't make noise.
Yeah, he has these big huge mechanic boots on, and then not mechanic but worn by a mechanic, and then he just walks around it doesn't even boop, 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 boop. It doesn't make any thuds or anything. I think one thing that was really good about the movie, and that I would say that tops all the movies and completely, is the mask. I think that was the best mask out of all the movies if you put them side by side, because it was really weathered down, chunks were taken out of it. The first mask, it was good. The very first mask was probably second, but it was just too I guess since you could see his eyes more in the first one, you couldn't see his eyes, but you still could you could it just didn't look like a really good mask this one did. This one just looked really good for some reason. I really think so. And I think that's what really made Michael look really cool. And I think nobody tops Jason Voorhees though. Like I think Jason Voorhees, that's like the creepiest thing ever, because he just comes out of the lake and like he's bald too, which even makes it worse.
Does Jason have like supernatural powers? Because like that's where I'm kind of like, that's why I kind of like kept theorizing like why Michael might have them.
All those people don't like.
I don't think anyone's ever like said that anywhere, and maybe I'm just ridiculous, but like,
I mean, it would make sense.
It wouldn't,
because I mean, according to Mr.
But it
Everhart,
wants to be realistic.
According to Mr. Everhart, it's not like a realistic. It's not entirely realistic.
Mm-hmm.
It's only like what, 2.
I mean, does anyone talk about how he like survives gunshots and shit?
Yeah, we talked about it in our English class. Like, why is he surviving all these revolver shots, shotguns, like any gun you can think of, he probably survived it. Like, it's crazy.
Okay, the ultimate question. So at the final scene, they trap Michael down in the basement.
He's not dead.
And set him on fire.
He's not dead.
And it's just burning. The house is burning in the woods, and then it does all these crazy shots of people and like the house from the outside, and then it finally goes to one shot in the inside in the basement, like the basement where the fire started, where Michael's standing on the steps there, and he's not there.
Yeah, like,
did he somehow get out, or is he like burnt to a crisp?
Yeah, like Lori trapped him in there, and then like through what was it? Oh yeah, she turned on like this gas, and like the gas went into the basement, like the propane or whatever.
Yeah, she had a bunch of like things that spewed out fire down there.
Yeah, and like when she threw the flare down, it caught it all on fire, so it was like spitting out fire. Literally, like a bunch of flamethrowers all over the house to like literally burn the house down. Which, first of all, that's a thing that's unrealistic. Like, what person is that insane to like?
She put a lot of planning.
Like literally military style. And every single room she checks, she goes out of it and then hits this button where like this big like bars come down so that she knows that he can't go back in that room. Like crazy stuff. Like, and like he's in there and he's burning and he's just like staring at them, and that's the only time in the whole entire film that you can actually see his eyes, because like the fire like lights up his mask and you can actually see his eyes like glaring at her. And that's when they leave and get out of the house, and then it shows like you said, it shows all the shots outside the house, and then he's not there. I don't think he's dead. They're gonna make another movie.
I really hope they don't.
Yeah,
it just needs to stop.
Yeah, what is this, the 11th?
Especially if it follows this movie. No, it's just gonna be so bad if they do.
Isn't this like the 11th or 12th movie? It's like
shit. I don't.
It's like 11, because like
what is it? I mean, it doesn't.
They had Halloween like H2O, like it was like 20 years later or something like that. Like that was like the dumbest one ever. I don't even know why everyone thought it.
What was it? Halloween H2O?
Like H2O or something. Like 20 years later. So like, there's now this one's 40 years later. Like, and then Rob Zombie, freaking metalhead, he like makes like 3 of them.
Oh yeah, there's like there's like 3 Halloweens, just like movies just called Halloween.
There's Halloween 2. Halloween
there's
2.
the Halloween in 2007. What's his name?
Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie.
Yeah. Like, wow. He like makes music. He's like a metalhead. like stupid.
Rob Z.
Like, why was like that person make a film called Halloween? Which they actually weren't terrible. Actually, like they were a lot better than I figured.
But I do like with this movie, it's kind of like the sequel the first one deserved. You know, like
yeah.
All the ones that follow it, I guess. I mean, I can't be one really to judge because I've never seen them, but you know, I've heard they're horrible. They like get into this weird backstory of how like Laurie and Michael are like siblings of some kind. Well, but they kind of just ignore everything that just happened in those like terrible sequels, you know.
Yeah, there's always gonna be weird theories and stuff that comes out and be like, is Michael like Laurie's dad or something stupid like that?
Yeah. That's like Star Wars stuff. Like, the thing that makes Star Wars so compelling for people that, I mean, like...
is guessing
nowadays? Yeah, it's like, who's father? Like, at least in this trilogy currently going on.
Yeah, like, Han Solo is Kylo Ren's dad, so that makes Darth Vader...
People are wondering who, like, Rey's father, though, is. Like, people are saying, like, either Obi-Wan, Luke Skywalker. I mean, which it most likely is, right? It's like
I would say, like, Rey is, like...
Like, because she has to be, like... Well, she doesn't have.
Her and Kylo Ren are brothers.
Heir of like a Jedi.
Yeah.
I mean, she could be Han Solo and Leia's, because Leia's, his
Yeah.
brother. They were born into like a family.
This whole thing is just so crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's the family tree is like a ball of yarn. It's so much like probably cousins smashing each other, and there's plenty of stuff. It's
another shot that was mirrored from the first one was in I mean, even like what the scene was like. It was the daughter. I feel like the daughter wasn't even like that important of a character.
no like in the beginning she was like introduced as like a main character, and then
Later in the movie, it just goes back to Laurie's story.
yeah, Laurie becomes
You kind of forget about
the daughter,
daughter.
and she's like lost in the woods for like half the movie anyway.
Yeah,
like,
the daughter.
she's missing.
Kind of forget about the mother.
Yeah,
it is mainly Laurie's kind of like
story
mission.
I always thought Jamie Lee Curtis was a terrible actress. Anyway.
Really?
Yeah, I hated it. Like the first movie, she was so stupid.
Well, I did always think that the first Halloween had dated acting. Like, I guarantee back then it like wasn't seen as too bad.
Like it's not as bad as our acting, but like her acting is pretty bad.
I just think kind of like, and like even like the kids back then, you can just tell that they're like, they aren't even actors. They're just kids pulled like the bullies. They're like, all right, in this scene, you guys are all gonna be like yelling at him like, the boogeyman, he's gonna get you, and then like in the shot, they like all like say it at like the same time. Basically, they're all like, he's gonna get you, and he's like, stop, and like like I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it was as serious back then, like especially like children acting, or like it wasn't as professional maybe.
Yeah.
People usually consider like today like Finn Wolfhard to be like a great actor, actually.
Yeah. Do you know the Cinema Sins? Like the guy.
Yeah.
Well, he did one on like the first Halloween.
Yeah.
And like he pointed out so much stuff that they screwed up in that movie. Like they'd be like the kid looking out the window and you can see Michael like carrying like the dead body of like the babysitter like into the house.
Yeah.
He goes around the house into the front.
I remember that.
And the kid's just like watching it, doesn't do a thing about it, just watches like a lifeless body just being put in with a guy in a mask, and just like, okay, but he's talking about the boogeyman the whole entire time, like there's a boogeyman, and then just watches that and says nothing. He pointed out a lot of stuff. Like,
are you sure? Movie. I thought like right after that he's like, it's the boogeyman.
I don't think he said anything. Like,
he didn't say anything about the body, I don't think, but I thought he said something. I thought he did say something like.
Oh yeah, he said the boogeyman's out there. No, it's not. And like Laurie's the one who's like worried about like the boogeyman, or like, someone's like, I think she's the one that says like, no, there's no such thing. And all of a sudden, like, oh, there's no such thing, and she goes and tells him to go watch TV again, and then like the little girl's like, I believe you. It's like no one's gonna say anything about him.
I believe you.
Yeah, no one's gonna say anything about him carrying like the dead body. Like,
do you know what I mean when I say like dated acting? Like the reason sometimes like a movie will be super good is because like, especially an old movie, is because you can't really tell. Like with Halloween, like you can tell like, oh, this was made in like the 70s, because like the acting is just kind of.
Oh yeah, like if you look at Psycho, like the acting in that movie is like
super dated.
Yeah, like it's so.
Well, I don't know. I didn't think most of it was too bad, honestly.
I thought like the Psycho was just. I mean now, like back then, it was obviously like scary, like really scary, because like Norman Bates is like a freaking crazy lunatic. But like
I
now,
actually thought Psycho was pretty good, honestly.
Like I like the plot and everything, but like since of the time, like the shots and like the one time, the shower scene where like he comes in and stabs her. Like you could see the one scene where like the knife goes in front of her stomach. It doesn't even puncture her.
Oh yeah, it's just like kind of like
it just kind of sits beside her stomach, and like nothing happens.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely one thing.
Oh yeah, like the other thing, like Michael Myers in the original movie, they kind of like, you know, where he like kills his sister, and like it shows him like turning his head, and you just see like the knife like stabbing the air. Like, it's so stupid.
I remember Caleb at lunch was making fun of that. He was like looking straight ahead, going like this, and then he just looks like that.
Yeah, it's like that. There was like so stupid because she like actually. What, didn't she like fall on the ground? Yeah. And then he's like doing this like up in the air, like just stabbing.
I mean, they wanted to put emphasis on showing that he was actually stabbing, I guess.
But that was like too much, that. And
so, yeah, like Halloween's like I think is a perfect example of a movie that's kind of like you can tell it's old.
Was that like whenever they, because you know how they extended the scene where she was killed, because like in the first one it didn't show her tits, and then in this one it did. Yeah. So like, did they just take like that same shot, or like did they just reshoot?
I'm wondering. No, I wouldn't think they reshot it.
Like, because it still was like really HD. Like,
did Mr. Everhart shoot the version with like the extended version with like more scenes in it?
No.
He showed us one.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah,
with like Michael, like
the television one.
The doctor talking to the Michael in the institute or whatever.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, that he did.
And like sitting in front of like a
doctors and saying like he's insane. Like no, he's staying here. Whatever.
That's interesting. Cause like, it actually shows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing Michael didn't talk.
No.
For some reason I thought I like remembered him actually talking.
I don't like that they showed Michael's face in the first movie, because that just it kind of gave away his identity. Like not in this movie they didn't show his face, but like in the first one, like Laurie like stabs him in the eye with I don't even remember what it was. Like,
coat hanger.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she like takes a coat hanger, like stabs him in the eye with it, and then like whenever he like starts to attack her, she like pushes up against him, and like his mask comes up.
His entire mask comes off.
Yeah, and you see like his one eye because it's all screwed up, and like you see his face, and I didn't like how they like revealed his face. I mean, it was only a split second, but like still, it's like it's Michael Myers. Like you don't just take his mask off.
It was the first one.
Yeah,
like, he wasn't like
a known
this iconic slasher yet, really.
Yeah, I guess if you look at it that way. Jason showed his face, didn't he?
I don't know. I've never watched any of the Friday the 13th movies.
Oh, really? Oh,
no.
Oh, you need to see those
I know. Things. I need to see him.
He's like a monster in those things. Because, like, I hate how, like, his hockey mask, like, the way it goes around his bald head, it just, like, it looks like he's had it on so long that it just kind of, like, his head's growing around, like, the strap. Yeah. It's, like, really disgusting. And that's what, like, scares me the most. Because it's, like, tight up against his face. It just makes him look even more brutal and, like, crazy. It's just, yeah, Friday the 13th is a movie that, like, yeah, that's a good movie. I like those movies. There's a lot of those movies, too.
Oh, yeah. I think that's like the most, that's the franchise that has the most horror movies. I think they have 12.
Halloween has, like, 11 or 12. Halloween has a lot, too. Because they have a lot of spin-offs that, like, were really crappy, but, like, no one liked them.
Yeah, this one was really decent, honestly. Like...
Overall,
when I first like saw like the trailers, and like, you know, usually what you think when like there's like a sequel to like a classic movie is like, oh Jesus, it's gonna be so shitty. And then I was really surprised when like even like Rotten Tomatoes had it like 87% or something like that, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, and like overall, I'd give the movie like an 8 out of 10. I'd say. If I'm being
I'd probably give it like, I don't know, like a 7.5 maybe.
I'd give it an 8. Like not everything like I do like how they mirrored the shots though.
Yeah,
that was really good.
And there weren't like it wasn't like overflowed with that either.
Yeah,
which is nice.
It was almost like perfectly
balanced. It was like the iconic. Oh yeah, I didn't even say what I wanted to say earlier. So like when the daughter, because we got to the daughter and then how not memorable she was. So, like, the daughter, she's, like, in the exact same seat, seemingly in the exact same classroom as Laurie was. And, she, like, looks out the window and sees Laurie standing there. But in the original, it was Michael standing there. I really like that shot. Because that one mirrored the first movie. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. I think Laurie, she... Like, her mood, like, her whole, like... attitude towards it all like really changed between the first and this one.
Oh yeah, she's
like now she's like this woman who like
she's basically like
she's old, and then she's like a military sergeant.
PTSD infected like war veteran or some shit in this one.
Yeah, she has like flashbacks every 12 seconds.
Yeah,
like literally thinking, no, he escaped, he's coming, he's. I like. What? I like the part where the bus crashes in the beginning, and the kid like. There's a pickup truck, and like his dad gets out and goes, and like his dad, I guess, like, dies or whatever, like goes missing. He doesn't know at the time, I don't think. And then a kid grabs the gun, goes onto the bus, and the moment he goes on the bus, this guy jumps up out of the seat and says, "Don't shoot!" And then he immediately shoots him right in like the heart, and he falls over.
Doesn't he go like oh shit, or something like that, or...
Yeah, and he runs out of the bus. He just runs away. Like, it's so funny. And then, like, the cops were dead there and everything. Like, like
oh, yeah, that was kind of, like, the same thing with the first movie, too.
Yeah.
I feel like there was one more, but I can't remember that really I liked, but I don't...
That was the same actor who played the cop, wasn't it? Like, in the original movie? Like,
which cop?
The chief. Like,
oh, is it?
I think it is, because I looked, like, they look very similar, just younger. I think the cop now looks like John McCain. I looked at him and I'm like, that literally looks like John McCain.
I don't know.
I
wasn't able to tell.
I think it is the same actor. Because, like, Lori and him, like, know each other, and it's just, like...
Yeah.
I just feel like it is the same actor. Well, it's definitely the same actor. It's the same cop. Yeah, it has to be. I don't know. It has to be.
One thing that I noticed was, like... It was... Like, I wasn't able to tell, like, you know, because it's at the theater, like, what time, how long, like, daytime lasted in that movie, like, before, like, how, like, trick-or-treat night came. It came really soon, because, the entire night, the rest of the night is just filled with, like, Michael murdering people, and, and then, like, the whole fiasco with, like, them coming home from the dance and just the cops then coming because the one girl and her boyfriend were murdered. Like, I just noticed, I felt like it was only like 30 minutes in the movie. It just cuts to like trick-or-treat night or something like that. Yeah. It was really short. Like that. I mean, I guess they had to make room for getting everything they wanted into. Yeah, like the intense scenes.
Oh, one scene I really liked was like right after the party, I think, where she's walking home with that fat kid after like they just broke up or whatever, like the boyfriend, and like that fat kid, and then he like falls on the ground because he's like, I don't know, drunk or something, I don't remember, but like he's like on the ground and like Michael's like behind the tree, and he's like that's like another humor relief, but like it was still like really scary because like or like suspenseful because he's just like not saying a word. Because he's like, oh, hey, man, like, am I on your property? I'll get off. Like, I'm not trespassing or anything. And, like, he's just standing there staring at him. And then, like, the light goes out, like, the motion sensor light. Mm-hmm. And then it turns back on and he moves. And then it goes off again and it moves again. And then once the next time it turns on, he attacks him and kills him. And, like, that's whenever the daughter comes back and she's on the other side of the fence. And he's, like, screaming for help. And, yeah.
So this one was weird. I'm thinking, like, what if they, like, tried to mirror, like, not, like, mirror, but, like, tried to, like, make it as much like the first movie as possible without, like, getting too, like, reflective across the two. Because, like, I think like, let's say, like, they didn't include, like, any comic relief, any, like, the teenage boys, because there's, like, no, like, teenage male people. In the first movie, there's literally only, like, teenage girls, male adults, and children. And then Michael Myers. Yeah. There is the one dude who's in the first movie that's like, I don't even remember the girl's name. The girl that gets killed in the other house. Like, they're about to have sex, but then the dude with the glasses.
He was Bobby Billy? I don't know. Well, that's one of them.
It might have been Bobby. He's like the only male teenager in that movie.
That's probably the scariest scene in the whole film, in that film. Like, whenever he comes out of that closet and he just hangs him there.
That was like almost kind of a jump scare, even.
Yeah.
I mean, but at the same time, it wasn't, I feel like.
Because you saw him going up to him, but, like, the music, like, the way they put the music there was, like, really...
And I'm so glad they didn't, like, litter this new one with jump scares. Because that's all horror movies do nowadays, I feel like. It's just jump scare. And then it's considered a quote-unquote scary movie.
Yeah. And I'm glad they didn't use, like, the theme of Michael Myers, like, too much in this one. Because the first one, it was, like, all the time.
Yeah, the first one had so much, like, of the music in it.
Yeah, like, when he kills people, it's like...
And then every intense scene starts off with the like, that, whatever that noise is. Yeah, and then,
oh yeah, like it's like high pitch.
Yeah.
It's like, and it goes on for like solid like 5 minutes. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do that. And this one, they actually, wasn't really paying attention to the music too much in this one, actually. Like, I did.
Because I don't think there was much of, like, I don't think they played it too much. Like,
it was, well, and
I think they did towards the end, right? Because that was on, like, it was, like, the final showdown.
But it was, like, really, like, quiet and, like, but it was definitely, like, they played, like, one low note or something, but, like, and those old ones, like, and yes, this is true for, like, any old, like, horror movie or anything. They play the music so loud, and it just makes it so bad. Like, that, I think that's what ruins, like, those old movies, because, like, you play that, like, loudly and obnoxiously, it's, like, it just ruins it.
Maybe their mindset in old like, horror movies was just, like, just keep playing this music loud and they'll think it's intense.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was it else? Oh, yeah. Back to, like, the reflective thing, like, what else would they have to, like, take out? Let's say, like, you know, like, the first one was really notorious, like Mr. Everhart said a lot, that there's no violence in the first one. Yeah. I mean, there really almost isn't. I mean, maybe that was because it was old and they couldn't really show violence in any way.
It was
without making it look cheesy.
Yeah, it was definitely harder for them to show violence at that time.
Let's say, like, this one, because almost every time Michael would murder someone, it would, like, even with a knife, or, I don't know, he really didn't kill that many people in the first one.
No, he only killed, like, what, 4 or 5?
He killed the girl in the car by choking her. He killed the dude by
choking.
Didn't he, like, lift him up and choke him?
Yeah. And then hung him there with the knife, stabbed into him.
Yeah, so, like, in every kill in that movie, they find a way to, like, almost, like, cover it up. But at the same time, they do a really good job of, like, actually showing that he is being murdered. That, like, someone's being murdered. I mean, in this new one, it indeed does have violence. I mean, the one shot is crazy, where he just stabs the woman through the neck from behind, and blood just splatters everywhere. Like, what if, what if they, like, didn't, like, show... They didn't show the woman's head who got bashed with the hammer, did they?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, he, like... Because remember, he, like,
just
goes into the kitchen, and then he, like, does that weird turn, and then, like, walks into the kitchen, just hear, like, him bludgeoning her head.
Yeah.
Like,
the sounds are kind of weird, especially in that scene.
Yeah, it's, like, screaming. It's, like, it's almost like a classic, like, death scene. Like, you just hear screaming like that, really, like, over the top.
Let's say with a kill, like, the one where it's, like, through the neck, like, right in the camera. Like, what if they, like, found, like, you know, like, a way to cover that up in a way? Like, what if they just, like, played the sound and, like, had, like, the camera, like, showing something else off to the side? Like, I don't know. I don't really know if any of that makes a movie better or not. One thing that I kind of got mad about was, like, when everyone... I mean, like, I think you even asked me this, but I don't want you to, like, feel bad or anything, but, like, the first question a lot of people asked me was after seeing the movie, like, was it scary? I was like, can you stop asking me that? Because, like, a scary movie doesn't make a good movie.
Yeah, I don't think I asked you if it was scary. I said myself that it wasn't scary because I just didn't think it was.
I don't care if anything's scary. I don't think I'm so desensitized to horror now. I legit don't get scared at anything but, like, retarded jump scares.
Yeah, that's exactly how I am. I don't think.
I mean, like, who doesn't get scared by a jump scare though? Who doesn't get startled by that?
Yeah.
Like, I've just had so much experience watching horror things that, like, nothing's really scary to me. So when everyone was asking me that, I was like, no, not really. Like, I wanted to say no, but also I wanted to say yeah because, like, Michael's a fucking. He's a psychopathic. He's really like a psychopathic villain, and then. I was just thinking, like, well, that doesn't make the movie good. I was more focused on, like, was it a good movie in, like, substance instead of, like, just scary, like, how scary it was.
Yeah. I think one thing that actually does scare me in, like, those movies is, like, stuff that's, like, really, really weird. Just, like, I know that sounds, like, weird, but, like, yeah, okay, weird's weird. But, like, there's, like... Okay, for example, like, the first one, the thing that actually did scare me in the first one is whenever he goes in, like, she walks into the room and the babysitter's dead. She has, rose petals all over the top of the bed.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, the tombstone of Judith Myers is on there.
Yeah.
That actually, like...
But isn't that the body of Judith Myers lying there, too? Because he did dig up the grave, right?
No, he only dug up the tombstone.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it was the babysitter that was laying there dead. Like that there like really.
No, okay, wait. Was it? I thought it was Judith Myers that was legit like lying on the bed, like the dug up body of Judith Myers.
No, it
Isn't there like there's a part where like
they go over the grave and no, but it's only like the tombstone.
that scene was crazy though.
Yeah,
she like, walks into the bedroom. That was super. Yeah,
that actually did scare me. And
that
like
was a little terrifying.
Yeah, that kind of weird like stuff that almost like connects together, and like it shows in the beginning like, oh, he stole the tombstone, which nobody does.
Mm-hmm.
Like the cop says like, oh, kids do like why do kids do this? It's like who steals a whole tombstone away from like a grave? But like, yeah, like that scared me. And like even Psycho, one thing that actually did scare me in Psycho is whenever they go down to the basement, and it just shows like the dead mother's corpse like staring into the corner, and you just see the back of her head. Like for some reason that actually like gave me chills because just how weird that is.
The scene that scared me with Psycho is when it's just like the top down view, and the dude's walking up the steps and the door's like cracked open, and she just comes rushing out with a knife, and that kind of was scary to me.
Whenever he goes down the stairs, like he's falling down the stairs, so he's just going.
Oh yeah.
He's just like
that was a weird camera shot.
Having a weird seizure.
I mean, what year was that movie made? 'Cause
60.
60?
Yeah, 1960.
Okay, because like
filmed in.
It's hard growing up in a different time, because like I always try to understand like what movies were revolutionary back then.
Yeah, like
but it's really hard because like when you like are birthed and like you're finally able to understand the concept of movies when you're like, I don't know, like a little kid, and like you just see all this stuff in a movie, and then you watch an old movie and it's like it has some elements of what you saw in that like this newer one, but like back then they were like the first people to do that, and like that's why it was revolutionary, you know. Like I don't even know what it is about The Godfather, but like apparently The Godfather is super revolutionary, and like
I still
how the movie was like shot and everything.
I still think that's like the greatest movie of all time.
It usually universally is considered the best
because like it's like really really realistic because that's exactly how the mafia was, especially like the Italian mafia, and then like everything about it's just like so perfect about it. I just don't know why. It's just because it shows family troubles, and it shows what the family deals with, and it shows like all together what the Italian mafia was. Like all of that just mixed into one is like so.
It
so
ties up all loose ends.
Yeah,
something I love about it.
Yeah,
like one thing I was like dwelling on the first time I watched it was like, oh, what the hell are they gonna do about Carlo? Like, shouldn't they kill his ass? And then it's like I think it's like the last kill in the movie. The last person they do kill in the movie.
I like it's the ending of the first one, isn't it? Or
what?
No, it's the end of the second one. Well, the one where they kill all the 5 heads of the family.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Yeah, I thought that was the first one.
Because I love that. Isn't there a scene like that? There's also a scene like that in the second one. I'm not sure about the third one. I think there is.
The third one, the ending, they try to kill Michael.
Yeah, at the end. Godfather 3 spoilers, by the
way. Yeah.
Did I tell you that the third one, the ending, almost made me cry? Because
shoot them trying to kill Michael.
No, because the daughter got shot.
Oh yeah.
That shit. I don't know. That was like really sad to me for some reason. And then like, cause like he just starts breaking down into like screaming.
Oh yeah.
Like he can't even
contain himself.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like the third one, especially not as people consider like, which is weird because like sequels are usually not considered to be that good. People usually don't like the third one, but people fucking love the second one and almost consider that to be like the second greatest movie behind the first one, which is crazy to me because that's like insane.
Sequels are never. I actually didn't like the third one because
really?
No, not really.
Why not?
Because like Michael, Al Pacino ages first of all.
Really bad.
And like it just his acting, I almost think got worse like as he was older.
And he's just kind of like, oh, same old, and let's act again.
Yeah,
kind of sucked.
Like it's the same thing again. Like it's different because the first one, Marlon Brando plays Vito, which is like the one and only Godfather.
Yeah, I don't think there's any beating the first one because the first one just has so many of these awesome characters, like these iconic characters. I mean, the second one's awesome too, but it doesn't have all these like this kind of like unified cast of like great actors and characters they play.
And like the second one, Michael's now taking over because his dad dies, and then it also shows like his dad's backstory about like everything in the second one.
I loved the scenes of the second one. For some reason, I just loved those scenes. It was because Marlon Brando or Vito's, I don't know, just like seeing him young and like
Robert De Niro plays him.
Really?
Yeah, in the second one. And his old, like he's young, where he's young. Yeah, it's Robert De Niro.
I don't know why. Just every time like, I thought it was cool how it like flashed back to that. Every time it would like begin the flashback, I was like, oh yes, this scene. Like I don't know why, I just love those scenes.
Yeah, like those ones, because it shows, it's still showing like Michael's leading, like the Corleone family, but then it's showing like how his father started the empire of the Corleone family, and I think that's so good. And then the third one, the reason why I just don't like it is because Michael's still running the whole thing. No flashbacks are really shown, I don't think at all.
There's also the weird incest thing in the third movie.
Oh yeah, that part's weird. Like they're flirting with each other. Yeah, I just don't like the third
And then they don't really, nobody really does anything about it. They like repeated like so many times in the movie. Like he would just be like, oh, don't do it, it's too dangerous.
Yeah.
And then like later someone else would tell him like, oh, it's too dangerous. Like that's all they would say. They would never try to like, but I mean they did stop like, I don't even remember what their fucking names were. They did stop like seeing each other, the cousins, and then like, but like nothing really drastic was done to get them apart from each other.
Yeah, and like Michael's wife in the third one, her acting like really died off, and then like
these people are just old and not
yeah, they're just like Al Pacino was really good in the first two, and now the third one he just wasn't too good. But like, I don't like how that movie started off either, in like the ceremony of like, was it a wedding?
The first one.
No, not the first one. The third one. It was a ceremony. It was like some weird ceremony or anniversary or some. It was some party.
Oh like, yeah, where it said like, "Oh, Michael Corleone's gonna donate $1 billion." Was it billion? Because I knew it was like insane.
It was like $500 million to like.
No, it was like one something. I think it was like 1 million. And I was like, oh, I didn't know they were that rich. I seriously thought it was like 1 billion.
It wasn't that much. It was probably 1 million or like 100 million or something.
Actually, it might have been 100 million. I
don't know. But like that. I just don't like the beginning of that because like, it shows right off the bat. It just starts showing the daughter and like just how she acts, and then going over like what Michael's son, I think, and like the way they act. Oh, the way they act is so weird. I just don't like it. I just don't like that movie.
Every movie starts out with some kind of ceremony though. Like the second one had like whatever they were dancing.
Yeah. I do like the ending of the first one. That's so good because like his son's being his son's being baptized, and it's just showing
godson. Because like it's Connie and Carlo's baby.
Oh yeah. That's right. And they're just being like he's being baptized,
and then like it just cuts to like everybody
killed, and it's still like the best part about that scene is because you can still hear the priest. Still talking over top of all of it. He's still
the editing in that scene is like
actually amazing.
It's like, amazing.
The music's like really just low, not really obnoxious or anything. You can still hear the priest like baptizing him, and then it cuts to them killing it, and then you just see Michael's face the whole time. He knows what's going on like behind the scenes. It's so.
Do you think that's possibly like the greatest movie scene of all time?
Yes, without a doubt. That's such a good scene. I love that scene. It's just so good.
I've never looked into I've always just looked into what the best movies are, not really what the best scenes are. So I'd probably have.
The second best scene of all time is probably Shawshank Redemption when he's crawling through, he's escaping the prison.
A lot of iconic.
Like and Platoon. Platoon wasn't really like one of the greatest movies of all time, but like there was a scene at the very end where, It's a movie about Vietnam. I'm sure you know about it, maybe. But
I've seen it on a couple lists.
But like it's about them in Vietnam, and the two captains, they like fight all the time. You know William Dafoe? He's the one who played the Goblin in one of the Spider-Mans.
No.
If you see his face, I'm sure you know who he is. But like the two captains are like always arguing back and forth, and one of the captains get on the helicopter to get out of there because of Vietnam. They're coming, and he sees that like the other captain didn't get on the helicopter yet, and he just says go, just go, because he wants him to die because he doesn't like him. And then they're flying away, and then they finally see him like running through the forest, and you just see all of these like Viet Cong just chasing after him, trying to like shoot him and stuff, and he's just running. He has no weapon at all. He's just running.
Damn.
And then like he finally gets like shot in the back, and when he gets down on his knees, and he just goes like this, like he throws his arms in the air, and it's just such an iconic like, it's so good, and like the rest of the guys are just like, why'd you leave him down there? And he just doesn't say anything, just sits down. Like, oh, it's so crazy.
I personally love. There's two scenes from *Inglourious Bastards*. Quentin Tarantino said his favorite scene ever written was the beginning, and I fucking love that scene.
So do I. I do like that
scene. He's just my favorite director. He's like, you would think that just two people talking to each other would be such a boring movie, but he writes his dialogue so like intricately. It's insane.
Quentin Tarantino is
I love his fucking his most notorious thing is like dialogue, and there's that scene. But then more people usually praise the bar scene, where like it's the German guy and stuff starts to get real awkward, and then he kind of knows what's going on, that he knows that he's part of like. I don't know if like he does specifically know he's part of the Bastards or not, but people usually praise that scene. And even Micah, he's like he's a huge movie guy. He said that he thinks that's like one of the greatest movie scenes of all time, and I was like
the beginning of *Inglourious Bastards is definitely like a very good
It's scene. Even 20 minutes long, and it feels so short, almost even.
Yeah.
But like,
and I like
it's super good.
One of the most iconic scenes. I wouldn't say it's like the best one, but like The Shining. Whenever what's his name? Jack Nicholson. When he's like hacking at the door, and like he sticks his head through it. He's like, "Here's."
Oh yeah, that's iconic. That's super iconic.
That one, and then like the girls in the hallway, like on the tricycle going down the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually the first time in movie history that they used a gimbal to like make the stabilization. Yeah. So like when they're going down the hallway, they're following this girl, and it's just so smooth and stable. It's the first time they ever used it. And back then, they were like, you literally had to like put on this big, huge like backpack looking thing and like operate it like this, and like have it out in front of you. It looked really stupid. But and then like the little girls and like the blood's everywhere. It's just and red rum like red rum. Like, it's just really that's creepy.
My girlfriend hates that movie.
Oh, I love that movie. It's so good.
I love it. There's no arguing against her. She like. I get because she read the book, and I guess that's what she's like blinded by is that like it doesn't match up with the book.
I didn't read.
She just goes, "It's so fucking stupid. I hate that fucking movie." And I'm just like, I love it. It's usually considered even one of like the best horror movies.
Yeah. The remake in 2005 was terrible. I don't know if
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, they made a remake of it so bad.
You can't. I don't think you can remake a movie from like such a great director like Kubrick.
Yeah.
Kubrick. Like, you know how, like, Quentin Tarantino has his, like, his iconography of, like, great dialogue, like, intense, like, awesome dialogue. Yeah. Kubrick really doesn't have, like, an iconic thing about him, but all of his movies are, like, great.
Yeah.
I love his movies. I don't know what I would say for top 3 directors. Definitely Tarantino #1. I love Kubrick. I love Edgar Wright. He made Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead. I love those 2 movies because Edgar Wright, he's so good at mixing comedy but like also like a super good movie, and like the editing in his movies are awesome too. Like I like it just when he those 2 guys, the 2 main characters in Hot Fuzz are in the bar and they're just like, yeah, we'll be like they said something like we'll be pulling him by the legs, and then it cuts to the murderer pulling some dead guy by the legs.
Yeah.
He always does that in his movies, and I love it so much. And I heard there was a shot in Baby Driver where, like, the song playing in the intro scene is like, yeah, and then it shows, like, a shot of, like, behind the main guy's head that's, like, dancing, and there's vandalism in the background of, like, a spray paint thing that says, yeah. Like, he always does stuff like that. I love Edgar Wright.
Steven Spielberg, like, I feel like he's good, but I feel like he's almost overrated. Like,
I've tried to like appreciate. I do like his movies. I like a lot of his movies. I don't think there's obviously something I'm not seeing in his movies because he is considered to be like probably the greatest.
Like George Lucas, like they say that he's like one of the greatest too. I don't think
I think the only thing George Lucas has done is Star Wars. Did he really do anything else?
Yeah, he helped with Indiana Jones.
Ah, okay.
But like that was Spielberg and George Lucas. Like they're really good friends actually.
Oh.
And like they're both worth like $6 billion.
I for some reason didn't like Poltergeist. That was a Spielberg movie. I don't know.
They say Ready Player One's a good movie. The one that just came out.
Yeah.
I don't know did you watch that?
No.
I didn't either. Everyone says like it's a good one, but like
he has so many movies though.
Yeah, I know.
Like one day I looked him up and he has had a movie like every year for like the past like.
Yeah, he started his first movie. He was 11 years old. And
what?
Like, yeah, he was 11.
What movie was that?
I don't know. It was in like 1956, and it actually was not a bad movie. Apparently, like to critics and stuff, it was like an animated one.
Oh.
Or something like 11 years old. Like holy crap. But and here I am. Yeah, I'm 16 and here I am. Like there's like he made E.T. Like I forgot completely he made E.T. What other movies has he made? Like
Jaws.
This? Oh yeah, Jaws. Like I always forget. Like he makes like all these crazy movies that are really good, and like he's just I don't know. He's really good. Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, Jurassic. That's the one I was trying to think of. I was like, what movie was that? I only just watched that like last week.
I don't like Jurassic Park.
Really?
I never liked them.
See, the thing is about Jurassic Park is like
the first one was alright.
Oh yeah, the first one's like usually known as like one of the best. We always say that, but like it truly is like usually people praise it all the time.
I think they're trying to milk it too much now because like they're making like what they just
Jurassic World.
They just came out with Jurassic World.
I mean,
like all these movies that they're starting.
I try not to judge movies I've never seen before. But, I mean, the first Jurassic Park, I thought it was really cool. It was definitely probably a lot cooler back then, because there had never been anything, like, special effects-wise.
Yeah. With,
like, these gigantic moving creatures like dinosaurs.
Yeah. And, like, the reason why I say, like, I don't like whenever they make, like, one really, really good movie, and it's just, like, it blows everything else out of the water. And then, like, years later, they think, since that was so good, like, we'll make a sequel and try to make it. Like,
it happens with all our movies.
Yeah, it's just ruined.
There's very few exceptions like that. Like, the first...
Like
you ever see Alien?
Yeah.
First Alien's awesome. The second Alien's usually considered, like, just as, like, good as the first one. Like, they're both, like, perfect movies, essentially. But then, like, the third one kills off like a lot of these main characters, and it just like sucks right off the bat. And then like I didn't think Alien 3 was bad. I thought it was cool.
Avatar's coming out with like a bunch of new movies soon.
Seriously?
Yeah, like because you know how like that was like the most grossed one of all
time. How did that become the most gross movie? I feel like there wasn't really anything behind it. It looked like other than it was like a beautiful movie.
Yeah, it looks like the dumbest thing in the world to me. Like when I saw it, I'm like, this is really stupid. What are they like overgrown Smurfs going through the jungle? like they look stupid to me. But like. And then, like, the second's Force Awakens, but they're making another Avatar 2 in 2020, Avatar 3 in 2021, and Avatar 4 in 2022.
What?
Like, they're, like, doing it like, one after another. Like, I don't think they should be doing that at all. Like, they're going too far. I don't like whenever, like, directors, like, try to milk something that, like...
Yeah.
James Cameron, actually, he's the one who made Avatar. He's actually not a bad director, because he made, what's that movie? It's like really, really good. I don't remember what it's called. But James Cameron, if you look him up, he's like actually a really good director too. He's just worth a little under $1 billion. Like, yeah, he's actually good. I forgot about him. They say he's like a really good director. But like top 3 directors, I'd definitely say like Tarantino's probably one. Clint Eastwood's probably one of the top 3 because he actually makes really good movies too. Like he shifted away from acting and now he's like directing movies. Like he made American Sniper, he made
Gran Torino and starred in it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He starred Gran Torino and he like directed it. Which that movie, I love that movie so much. $1 Million Baby, like a bunch of these movies that he makes that are like really, really good. He made 15/17 to Paris. You know that it's about like I think it was in 2012 where like there was a terrorist was trying to like shoot up this train going to France or Paris.
France. And
there was 3 like Marines on vacation or something, and they like stopped him from killing people and like saved these people's lives, and like they actually used the same guys who saved the people's lives, and they acted as themselves. So in the movie,
Oh my!
they actually it was actually really good though. Like, they're acting really well.
I mean, they just had to like kind of like repeat what they already did, right?
Yeah,
Just kind of like
the same victims who were like the victims, they played themselves again. Like they literally just and
Oh my
I think
God.
that seems like a really good like
this seems like really bad, almost
evil, but like I mean they
did
obviously,
anyone get killed?
No.
Because if no one got killed, then okay, maybe it's not so bad.
Nobody got killed.
Okay.
But the one guy, like the guy who was shot and like bleeding out, he played himself again. Like I almost think that's genius by Clint Eastwood because like the best acting is like whenever you're a deep actor and like you remember what happened, so like you could easily just like do that again, and like you have flashbacks and stuff. It's just like I just think that's genius on his part. Like that was really smart. He makes a lot of really good movies. I think. Yeah. I honestly he's underrated. Like there's one. It's called The Mule. It's coming out in like December. Like actually, I think on like Christmas Day. He directs it and he plays himself again, and he's playing like this old man who like decides to like try to make money by selling drugs for like Mexican cartels, and like he has to like avoid he should be putting family first and stuff like that, and he's the mule because he's like old and like.
Oh my God! You know what comes out tomorrow? Bohemian Rhapsody.
That movie,
it kind of got bad reviews, but like I still am interested.
I want to watch it. They're my favorite rock band of all time, so I want to watch it no matter what. I just feel like, and he actually looks just like Freddie Mercury. It's crazy.
Do you think we'll have to pick this up? I mean, like I don't want to stop or anything, but like I feel like I have so much more to say. I mean, we could talk about movies even on the next podcast if we wanted to, but like we've been rolling for an hour.
Yeah, we can keep going.
I mean, I don't really have anything because we were mainly supposed to talk about Halloween.
Yeah.
And we did for a majority. We talked about it for a good 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Until we got into other directors and stuff.
I'm really like I can't wait to go see Bohemian Rhapsody. Like that
Maybe
one.
What time? Because we're going. Okay, we shouldn't talk about our personal plans on the fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What time are we going to the restaurant?
We're going there to eat, and then maybe we have enough time to see it also.
I was supposed to go see it Sunday with my dad, but I mean, I'll watch it twice. I don't care. I'll definitely watch it twice. I could watch it.
I mean, I don't know.
If it's good. If it's not good, then I'm probably not going to watch it again. But, I mean, I probably will because I like it no matter what. I don't care if it's crappy. It still just looks like a good movie. Because they had, like...
There's certain movies like that.
Yeah. Just because I like, when it's based on a true story and I like the person that's based on it, it's just I'll watch it no matter what. Like, because they actually use, like, the band members. Yeah. Like, Brian May and Roger Taylor, they were in Queen, and they actually, like, wrote and produced the movie with them. Which I think is really cool. You know he's like an astrophysicist now?
Who?
Brian May. He was a guitarist and now he's an astrophysicist. Like, how do you even become that? Makes no sense.
I hate when people do that.
Like they
how do people have two successful like the one dude I was thinking from the Steelers, the dude who came out and like he was the only one who came out and like for the national anthem at the Bears game last year?
Yeah.
How did he become some dude in Afghanistan and then like become like a professional football player? That's crazy.
Yeah, there's like Pat Tillman. He was a football player, and he went and then he quit football completely just to go over and serve in Afghanistan, and he died.
There's some dude my dad was telling me about. He was a professional football player and a professional MLB player. It's like that's
look at
you even see that nowadays.
Look at Michael Jordan. He played basketball, went to baseball, then played golf.
Like, I've seen Space Jam.
Yeah, actor. Yeah, I even forgot about that. He's an actor too. I feel like Shaquille O'Neal and like all these stupid people.
I feel like cause fucking, I hate him, Dwayne Johnson.
Oh yeah,
he's
most retarded.
Wasn't he a wrestler? He was a wrestler. Yeah, and then all he does is make these shitty action movies nowadays.
Yeah, they repeat all the time. Like there's a movie called Rundown. He plays it with
I tell you, I went and saw Skyscraper. It was literally just like the skyscraper was falling apart. He goes and saves his kids, and then that's the end of the movie. It's like, but like the entire movie is just action.
Charlie Sheen's real washed up. He just started a movie like I think last year. It was called 9/11, which is about 9/11. and like there's these 5 people in the elevator, and he's the only one that escapes, but he dies anyway because the building falls on top of him. So like it's just so stupid. Like he has AIDS anyway, so what the heck.
I feel like we need. Okay, I mean, like I don't want. Like, I think this is a good length. I think we'll
wrap it
come back to like we'll just come back to a ton of movies we like, maybe in like the future. I mean, this one we wanted to focus on one like we usually do, like focus on like one kind of specific thing. I think one podcast will probably just like go off and just like all movies.
So, well, I'm gonna give Halloween 8 out of 10. That's my final answer.
I mean, like, I almost think like I want to rate it higher now, thinking of how I had a lot of fun, like just going to that movie. One of my favorite things ever is going, like, you know, the crowded theater and then coming out of theater and then talking like first thoughts and just like saying like, oh, I love this part and this part. Like I did have a really fun time at the theater. I'd probably also give it an 8 out of 10, honestly.
Yeah. If you watched it, there's another poll right there. You can click.
If you made it this far.
Yeah, if you made it this far, it's gonna.
Or if you just want to know your thoughts.
Yeah, just say, did you like it? And it'll say, yeah, no. Or, I don't care. Yeah, we'll just say that. So if you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, leave it a like. Leave a like. And, yeah, just subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And check out the other podcast if you haven't checked out the rest of our channel. Caden's channel link is in the description. My channel's in the description, and a few other links. If you want to become a guest on the podcast, you can join the Discord server and become a guest on the podcast if you want to do that.
I'm really hoping we can bring on more people, like just with like in this room with us.
Yeah.
We're just random people we just like think are cool.
Yeah, we'll try to do that.
I want to try to do that.
Try to make it a little bit more entertaining for you guys. So yeah, if you enjoyed listening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
And goodbye.
Goodbye. This is now Anna's ASMR podcast with Caden. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Bye.